Welcome to the deep dive.
Whoa.
We are diving into a very specific and I think a really fascinating period this week.
Yeah, very tight window.
A targeted look exclusively at OpenAI developments published between December 21st and December 28th, 2025, right at the very end of the year.
And that specific week, it's almost a perfect snapshot. It really sums up the high-stakes balancing act that the company is performing.
How so?
Well, on one side, you've got this massive, almost unbelievable commercial scale they've hit. And on the other, you see the foundational work.
The nuts and bolts.
Exactly. The critical ongoing effort to secure these increasingly advanced systems, these agentic systems, against threats that are, frankly, also getting a lot smarter.
Okay, let's unpack this for you, the learner. The mission here isn't just to, list off the headlines.
Right.
It's to really get at the core tension between that rapid market-defining growth and the intense security work needed to maintain trust at that scale.
And we have it all this week. We have features, enterprise metrics, and a really deep look at AI on AI security.
Which is, I would argue, the most instructive part of this whole period.
I agree. If you follow the money and the usage, it puts everything else into a much clearer context.
So let's start with maybe the lighter side. The consumer experience and developer tools that kind of closed out the year.
It wouldn't be late December without some kind of a personalized recap, would it?
Of course not.
They launched their version of, what you see with music streaming services, that year in review thing, but for your chat history.
The headline is, Your Year with ChatGPT. This was announced on December 22nd.
And it's basically a personalized experience. It looks back on your interaction themes and gives you some summary stats of your activity in 2025.
Now, what's interesting about this, and we sourced this from help.openai.com, is the fine print.
Ah, yes. There's always fine print.
It's available for all the tiers, free, plus, pro users, but there's a catch.
You need to have two specific features enabled.
Exactly. You need both memory and reference chat history turned on to even see it.
And why does that matter? It seems like a simple little feature, but that constraint is actually pretty revealing.
Go on.
It's a subtle, but I think a very deliberate nudge, a consumer-friendly one.
A nudge to do what?
You're being rewarded with this fun, personalized recap, but that personalization inherently encourages you to use the deeper features.
The ones that rely on that persistent memory.
Right. It helps train the user base to see the AI as this cumulative, persistent partner, not just a one-and-done query tool.
And it also guarantees they have enough data to actually generate a meaningful recap in the first place.
Exactly. It reinforces the stickiness of the product.
We should also just quickly note the regional limits. Initially, it was just rolled out to the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand.
Right.
So moving from the user interface over to the tools that engineers use, we also saw some updates to the developer platform just before the holiday break.
Yes, this is on December 21st. The headline here is Codex CLI v0.77.0 released.
CLI being the command line interface.
For developers, yeah. People building applications on top of their coding models.
Now, this might sound like, deep infrastructure noise to some, but developer workflow is just so critical. What did this update actually do?
It was really pure quality of life and security improvements for those heavy users.
Okay.
According to the notes over at developers.openai.com, they added things like better terminal scroll capabilities.
Which sounds minor, but it's not.
It's not at all. And also more robust sandbox mode controls, which is for safer code testing and an easier OAuth login.
A better terminal scroll. When you're debugging code that an AI has generated, that friction reduction means developers can just iterate faster and more securely.
Exactly. It's that continuous support for the ecosystem. You can't reach a global scale if the tools your builders are using are clunky or slow.
The whole system stalls.
It does.
Right.
And these small, granular updates show that momentum is being kept up even right before a major holiday. And that dedication to scale. Well, it brings us perfectly to the biggest number of the week.
Yes, it does. This shifts our focus completely over to enterprise adoption. We got a figure this week that really defines their commercial success as they headed into the new year.
The headline here is the 1,000-plus business milestone. This was announced on December 22nd.
Over 1 million organizations now use its AI systems. I mean, that is just a jaw-dropping figure.
It's incredible penetration, especially for a technology that, in this form, is still so new.
But I have to ask, how are they defining organization here? Is that one person at a small business on a free plan, or are we talking major enterprise customers?
That's the crucial question, right? Because organization can be a fuzzy term.
So what's the answer?
Well, the announcement didn't break down the tiers, but the data that came with it is what's really important here.
Okay.
They confirmed that 75% of those organizations, that's 3/4 of them, reported that they can now do tasks they never could before.
Now that is the real metric. We saw this on OpenAI.com. This means the AI isn't just, summarizing emails or doing existing tasks a bit faster. It's enabling genuinely new capabilities.
It confirms massive enterprise reliance. It's a significant inflection point in productivity for most of their commercial user base.
It's a really critical piece of context because it moves the conversation away from just speculation about features and toward, frankly, economic necessity.
1 million organizations, with 75% of them fundamentally changing how they work.
Yeah.
And that level of integration makes our next segment on stability and security absolutely mission critical.
Because when you're underpinning the work of 1 million businesses, a history outage isn't an inconvenience.
It's a global operational risk.
That's the perfect pivot. The scale demands perfection, but we're seeing the immense challenge in actually maintaining that. Let's get into the core of it: safety, security, and operational incidents.
And we should probably start with the most technically complex update of the week. It has to do with their browser-based agent mode.
Right. The headline was, "Hardening ChatGPT Atlas Against Prompt Injections."
This was a big one.
This announcement, it was detailed in the OpenAI security blog on December 22nd, and it explains a new security patch for ChatGPT Atlas.
Yes.
For our listeners who might not be tracking every single product name, can you just quickly frame what Atlas is and why it needs this special attention?
Absolutely. So Atlas is what we call an agentic system.
You mean?
Unlike a standard language model that just answers one question, an agentic system is designed to perform complex, multi-step actions out in the real world.
Like browsing websites or executing code.
Exactly. It strings together results from different tools. And because these actions are long horizon and they interact with external systems, the attack surface for manipulation is it's so much wider.
And the most common attack is prompt injection.
Yes, and not just simple ones. We're talking about really complex, multi-step injections.
An attacker could embed a hidden instruction on a website, and the agent picks it up and performs a malicious action hours, or even days later.
Right.
So how did they counter this? This is where the security blog got really, really interesting. They rolled out a patch with a new adversarially-trained model.
And the methodology here is what's so fascinating. This patch wasn't just a reaction to some external bug report.
No, the vulnerabilities were found internally.
Through automated red teaming, which means they used an AI, an automated attacker, that they trained specifically to discover these novel, complex attack strings.
The kinds of attacks a human security engineer might not even think of.
Right, and that is a major technical shift. The defense is moving away from relying on, human reviewers or static filters.
And is moving towards integrating this adversarially trained model directly into the Atlas architecture.
It's essentially AI fighting AI to find and fix the weaknesses in the product.
It's a fundamental departure from the old model of just looking for keywords in a filter.
Those filters are way too rigid for an agentic system. By using their own AI to simulate the most creative, most patient attacker possible, they're developing this integrated, resilient security that is native to the system.
It's not just bolted on afterward.
Exactly. It's an admission that to secure a superhumanly capable model, you need a superhumanly capable tester.
It really sets the stage for the future of defense in this space, an intelligence arms race.
For sure.
Now, after covering that really sophisticated security work, we do need to balance the picture. There were two significant, though quickly resolved, operational issues this week.
Yeah, security isn't just about prompt injections. It's also about stability.
And we saw two incidents that show just how fragile this kind of global infrastructure can be. First up, on December 21st, there was an issue with the mobile app.
Right. ChatGPT Android errors resolved.
Elevated error rates briefly hit the Android app. The status page, status.openai.com, said it was a quick fix, but the complexity involved here is what stands out.
It affected 13 separate ChatGPT components.
13.
That number, it just highlights the dependency web. It shows how interwoven the mobile infrastructure is. An issue in one tiny area can cascade and create errors across multiple features.
From the core chat all the way to API interactions.
It shows you how complex managing that environment really is.
And that fragility, it popped up again during the ultimate stability test. Christmas Day.
Of course. The headline was ChatGPT History Outage.
It's almost poetic that it happened on Christmas morning. An outage briefly stopped some users from loading their conversation history.
Or downloading files in their custom GPTs.
It was identified and fully resolved by 9:41 a.m. that morning. That's a fast fix, which is, a testament to their response team.
But the incident itself hit two core components: loading history, which ties back to that memory feature we talked about, and file downloads in custom GPTs.
It's a good reminder that this infrastructure isn't self-healing.
Oh, yeah. Someone definitely got pinged away from their holiday coffee to fix that.
And while it was resolved quickly, the timing and the impact just show that maintaining these huge multi-component systems is a continuous high-stakes challenge no matter what day it is.
The stakes are just too high now, not when a million organizations are relying on their uptime.
So pulling all of these different threads together, what this final week of 2025 really shows us is a company hitting just peak commercial momentum.
Without a doubt. That 1 million enterprise milestone is the concrete proof of them achieving massive global scale.
And that scale, it comes with proportional risks.
It does. They're fighting these extremely complex security battles, not just against, traditional human attackers, but against automated attackers they built themselves to secure systems like Atlas.
This week really highlights that dual challenge. You have to maintain the incredible pace of development while also ensuring stability and implementing deep, proactive security against these new AI threats.
The contrast is so stark, isn't it?
It is. On the one hand, you have this fun, personalized year-end recap.
And on the other, a high-stakes, real-time security arms race playing out on their security blog.
So for you, the learner, absorbing all of this, the most instructive piece of this is probably seeing how they are deploying AI to secure AI.
And this observation, it raises a really important question for the future of safety and governance.
Go on.
The move to secure Atlas using an automated attacker, it suggests that AI safety and security moving forward might rely less and less on human red teamers or policy reviewers.
And more on these increasingly sophisticated adversarial AI testing environments.
We're moving into a domain where the complexity just outstrips what purely human oversight can handle.
Pitting intelligence against intelligence to find the next generation of vulnerabilities. That's the future of defense.
It seems to be.
So here is our final provocative thought for you to chew on. If only an AI can effectively and proactively test the safety and security of a frontier model, how much insight can human governance or policy truly retain as these systems become superhumanly complex?